And we are back to discuss the brand new Obi-Wan Kenobi show called Kenobi. In actuality, it should really be called Old Man Kenobi because that's really what it is now.
Old Man Kenobi. I forgot how to use the Force, and now I'm getting punched in the stomach, or at least pretending to. I'm always getting confused on it. But yeah, it's so much of it is about like whether or not he's too old for this shit, right?
Well, this is something that I actually have been noticing. Is that I don't want to repeat what Red Letter Media always says about Star Wars because their whole thing is that Star Wars is creatively bankrupt, and I don't want to think that, but it kind of sounds it's starting to look true because this is the third show we've gotten where we have essentially an old grizzled warrior or a warrior in general escorting a younger person who happens to remind them of their humanity, I guess, because we had that with Mando, and that was the first. And then the second one is we had it with the Clone Wars animated series Bad Batch. The Bad Batch squad had this one young girl, Omega, and now Obi-Wan with young Leia.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Even if you extend it out to Marvel in general, isn't that the plot of Hawkeye and other shows like that? Like they're constantly looking for the next generation or not that Leia. There's much future for Leia. We kind of know what happens to Leia. But in general, I think they like this whole old mentor, young protege in order to kind of have some sort of card up their sleeve for a future show.
It's getting kind of played out. I'm glad Book of Boba Fett didn't do it, but at the same time, maybe that would have saved it. And they kind of did do it because Mando came in towards the middle. And
Right. I mean, and he had those young. I mean, there was a little bit with the hackers, but the hacker squad. But
oh god, the Vespa
not
people.
too much. Not too much actually, but. So, I will say that, Boba Fett didn't really do it at all. It's okay. I think that the thing that makes it better is that there are a few scenes where they have two real actors, like, acting at each other, and it works because, like, normally Star Wars is stilted dialogue, and there's a lot of stilted dialogue in this, too. But every once in a while, you put Ian McGregor in a scene with Jimmy Smits, and it's like, oh shit, you've got two real actors who know how to act, and the scene works brilliantly. Or the guy who played Uncle Owen, and you put him in a scene with like Ian McGregor, and the scene comes out beautifully because it's two real fucking actors, but. I think those are the places where it shines. And it, are the parts where it's like not Star Wars dialogue, people actually having emotions,
I have to say, by the way, not that Kenobi needed the viral thing because it's always great when a new show comes out that no one really knows. It's an original show that no one really knows. It's always great when something like that comes out and there are memes about it that help it rise in popularity, like Squid Game, the memes for Squid Game. The meme here is Uncle Owen telling Obi-Wan, like, you trained his father. Like that, I've seen that everywhere. Like that's like the whole meme thing, so it really helped lift that up, and I love the meme personally. But no, the show is good. Although, there are some little things about it that I found a little weird, like the fact that those...
Oh, there's a lot of weird.
Like
there's a lot of weird.
Kidnappers?
Well, first off, I mean, I put in the notes here. Do we really need a recap of the prequel trilogies? Like it starts out with the recap, and I'm like, yeah, I think we know where we are. Like, I think we all know the prequel trilogies. Like, you don't need to recap that. They're like, whoa, really? Obi-Wan thought Darth Vader was the chosen one? And, oh, God, like, I mean, granted, you could skip those recaps, but I laugh about those recaps on Mandalorian, too. Like, nothing happened last episode. You don't need to recap it.
What is this, a YouTube video? You were trying to hit the 10 minutes for the extra ad? Come on.
Yeah, I know. But there's some little funny things. What did I put down here? So in the opening where they have to explain how some of the young Jedi escaped, I like how there's more space for the yoga that they're doing than the lightsaber training that they had in Attack of the Clones.
By the way, it felt so fucking weird watching that opening scene with the clones attacking the younglings. After what's been going on lately, holy shit! Like,
oh my god! Oh, I thought about the same thing. I thought about the same thing.
Maybe I should have cut this out. I don't know. Wait a minute.
Yeah, no, it's pretty rough. Yeah, that's my kid yelling in the background. By the way, we're gonna hear that throughout. Yeah, no, I definitely had that thought too. It was so sad. It's so sad, and maybe it is quite. I mean, then again, like we have a school shooting every week in America. So when are you not going to have Obi-Wan premiere?
Preston, please, let's not get political.
Right now is not the time.
Now is not the time.
But yeah, but it was kind of cool. Oh, let's see. I really liked that setting at the beginning with the Obi-Wan at the meat factory thing, where they have some sort of sky manta ray that's like fallen into the sand, and they're like cutting out all of the meat day after day after day. Like, that was just a really, really cool concept and like setting for someone to be. I like kudos to that. That looked really cool, and I really enjoyed.
Very Old Man Logan-ish. That he has like a normal 9 to 5 now, and he goes home and he's alone.
Right. It's not what I expected. Like you kind of expect old Ben to somehow use the Force to create food or something. Like it's like it's those things you never think about. Like how did old Ben the Hermit survive in the desert? And now you kind of know. Well, he went out and worked at a factory or worked at a meat packing facility.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What did you think of the flashbacks that Obi-Wan had when he was sleeping and stuff?
I mean, I don't mind it. It's whatever.
It's flashbacks to like things he wasn't at and stuff too, which is kind of weird. But it reminded me very much of when Anakin was having nightmares in, was it in Revenge of the Sith, where he has nightmares
of his mom?
Yeah,
Attack of the Clones.
That's an Attack of the Clones.
Mm.
I remember being in the theater when Anakin was having those nightmares, and the theater erupting in laughter because like everyone knew how cheesy and stupid it was for someone to be having like night terrors. It's such a movie cliche of like no and like the theater was laughing at that. Yeah, there are certain. I mean, it's funny that I remember it this many years because Attack of the Clones came out over like 20 years ago.
20 years, yes.
Yeah, and that. I think it might be the only thing I remember from seeing it. Like
the one thing I will say that I'm a little disappointed, and this is one of those things that I hate doing. I hate when people do this, and I'm going to do it myself. So maybe a hypocrite for a minute. I would have loved it. I would have loved the scene where Obi-Wan is out and he's camping, and he's by the fire and he dozes off, and the way I would have done it, where it would have like Anakin's like robot hand reach out from the fire and try to grab him, and he's having a nightmare. Yeah. That would have been like really cool. If we're going to see some flashbacks, I don't want to see like them just give us clips of the prequel series. I want to see like some original stuff of him and Hayden Christensen as Anakin, like from like the Clone Wars and stuff like that.
Right, like more information that gives us a new perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually quite surprising that there was a moment where Obi-Wan finds out that Anakin is still alive and is like, and then he starts kind of having PTSD. And I thought it was a very cool scene. But then I was like, he didn't know that Anakin survived?
Vader's been fucking people up left and right in the galaxy, and I'm sure news of him doing so has been spreading. So I always thought, like, when we come to episode 4, A New Hope, I always thought that he knew Vader was alive just through osmosis.
Right, that he would have eventually found out, like, within like a month, you know, like,
Yeah, right?
oh, you know, like, oh, did you know that now that the Empire's taken over, like, Anakin Skywalker or is Darth Vader, and he's the second, the Emperor's, like, right-hand man. Like, you think that kind of stuff would go around, like,
Actually,
you know,
to
we
be
know.
fair, if we're gonna like dissect it, I don't think Obi-Wan ever knew Anakin's Sith name.
Fair enough.
But how the fuck does the new character Reva? How does she know it?
That's true. I mean, she's a Jedi.
She
You
was
know.
actually. Someone pointed out
She
that
just knows. She just knows shit because she's a Jedi and like can like read people's minds.
I guess, but someone pointed out that she was one of the younglings in the very beginning. It's a blink and you'll miss it moment, which okay.
Oh really? Oh really?
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but it's in like superfluous content and all that stuff. You'd have to comics and games. All the Inquisitors were all Jedi at one point. In fact, the Grand Inquisitor was a temple guard.
Okay.
And this is a weird... I don't know what they're doing. Maybe it's a fake-out death scene, because she stabs the Grand Inquisitor in the stomach with a lightsaber, which is usually a death sentence, but he appears later on in Rebels. So unless they're...
That I was going to ask you about that, because I know that you know all the background for like when these Inquisitors die, and I'm like, how... really? They never established when the Grand Inquisitor died?
They established when he dies in Star Wars Rebel, the first season. He dies fighting Kanan and the kid. And he looks so much more cool in Rebels than he does like here. Here it just looks weird.
He looks bad, but I have to say that I like the actor.
Rupert
I like what he's...
Grint,
yeah, I do think his performance is really great. I do agree that when I saw the pictures, I'm just like, yeah, he kind of looks... He looks bad, but once he starts talking and everything, like I'm like, okay, he makes the part. He puts it together. Meanwhile, I think the other guy is a little over the top. The one with the helmet.
So yeah, like once again, how does in Rebels they make these guys look cooler? Here, like in Rebels, the fifth brother, the helmet guy, I thought he was Shark Guy, but because he kind of looks like a shark.
It looks like a hammerhead shark. Yeah.
Right, but helmet guy, fifth brother. In Star Wars Rebels, he's like taller, beefer, and like more like, and his eyes are like that Sith yellow. Here, he's just like an Asian dude. I for some reason, not that I have a problem that he's Asian specifically, but he's more like he feels more menacing and like he feels like The Rock in the fucking Star Wars Rebel. By the way, this is another thing that I hope to God they don't do, but I don't think you know this. So remember that part where the Grand Inquisitor comes down in the second episode and he's interrogating the kidnapper and his lightsaber starts spinning?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that Did you know that the Inquisitors can use the lightsabers, their spinning ones, spin so fast they can traverse like a helicopter?
That's some General Grievous kind of stuff right there.
That's some ridiculous bullshit. But yes, they could. So I don't know if they're gonna do this. Kind of fucking hope not. But they could literally like spin it so fast and put it up over themselves to traverse like a helicopter. It's the stupidest, dumbest thing that I hope does not happen. But at the same time, I hope it happens. It's so fucking ridiculous. So,
I mean, they might have like I could see like maybe 2 seconds, like like a person's falling, and they do it for a second to like soften their fall, you know. But yeah, I couldn't imagine like flying over the city with it to like get someplace. Fifth brother. I'm looking at the pictures of him. He is. I don't know if he's like hulking like The Rock, but he's definitely bigger than I imagine than here, and skin tone and everything, he's a little greener, but you're right that he's a little more menacing looking.
And the funny thing is, whatever the race the Grand Inquisitor is, we've seen a cool version of it in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, when Obi-Wan goes down to Utapau. That's the same race of people. So I don't know why they changed the look. Maybe the actor was uncomfortable in the makeup. Maybe you can't do all these stunts in the makeup. That's fine. But I wonder if this is a fake-out death or they're retconning Rebels, which they shouldn't be retconning Rebels, considering Mando Season 2, Ahsoka was actively looking for Thrawn, and in Rebels, Thrawn is, like, thrust away by...
Why bring these people in if you're just going to retcon their stories? Like, that's just really, really silly, right? Like, rogues is where they come from, right?
Rebels
is where they come from, so, like, why would you bring in something from Rebels only to retcon it?
Right, not to mention an unpopular opinion here. This is a very unpopular opinion I have. I supposedly, based off the posters, I haven't seen any spoilers or anything like that or any leaks. Based off the posters, it looks like we're going to have a dual confrontation between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan, and I hope that's not the case because I love the line in A New Hope where Vader's like, "The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master." And I hope, like, that it does not make sense.
If now their conversation is referring back to some battle that happens here versus 20 years ago, right? Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. I don't want that either, but I could see them doing that. About the Inquisitors. Now, I think it was kind of a weird plot to have a Jedi that they were chasing after be on Tatooine, and then them find him, and then the Grand Inquisitor stops the third sister from killing the Jedi for seemingly no reason, and then they kill the guy later anyway. Like, I kind of feel like they could have cut out the entire Jedi on Tatooine story. I guess they needed to have some sort of reason for them to be on planet, but they were kind of looking for Obi-Wan, right? I don't know.
It's also kind of weird that they would they would specifically kill this Jedi instead of mind reading him like they did in Episode 2 with oh man, his name escapes me, but he was the con guy. She read his mind to figure out where Obi-Wan was going. Why couldn't she read that guy's mind to figure out where Obi-Wan was?
I mean, I imagine that Jedis are a little stronger in their mind will, and they can like block it. That would be the explanation I would give. Though Luke is completely has his mind read by Vader, so I don't know.
Nice. Not to mention, this is one of those like weird, very weird Disney, but not Disney moments. Like Book of Boba Fett had this all the time, where Book of Boba Fett would have like these weird kid moments, but then they would not have those kid moments, like the terrorist attack at the bar or the brothel.
Yeah. There's I mean, there's these Disney moments like going into a bar and having good people, like regular good people getting terrorized is a very kind of Disney thing, right? Like, I don't know if we had that in Star Wars ever, but now it was like Mando's plot of the week. Like, oh, we've got these good people and they're getting terrorized by some sort of problem and Mando needs to stop it. Well, here, like, the bar owner is getting terrorized, and so the Jedi has to like step in and prevent the bar owner from getting killed. And
I was actually going to mention the woman getting her hand chopped off.
Yeah. Oh God. But I'll get to that when we're talking about like, who is this made for? You know, like,
right.
Because who is this made for? So yeah. Anyway, I just thought it was very odd that they out the Jedi, they find out who he is, and then they're about to kill him, and then the Grand Inquisitor stops third sister and is like, "You're reckless," and the guy like runs off, and then they just kill him later. Now, granted, they have him run off because they want to have a scene of him meeting Obi-Wan and Obi-Wan turning him down, but there was no reason for the Inquisitors to like let him live at that point. They could have just killed him. Like this building thing of the third sister being reckless. Like, I don't see how killing a random Jedi at a bar is considered reckless. You know, like what was the Grand Inquisitor's plan? I don't know. It's just very weird. But yeah, the whole chopping off hands on a kid's show is just really weird and violent.
But at the same time, they had a moment where when they captured that Jedi guy, and Obi-Wan, I guess, comes into town and he sees him hanging. I thought they were going to have him hanging by his neck. But no, they took the time to specifically have him hanging in a very comfortable position where his, like, around under his arms and stuff, you know what I'm talking about? Instead of by the neck, like, come on.
I mean, I guess so they could use the real actor and just have put the actor up there. But yeah, I noticed the same thing. Like, oh, you're hanging him by his waist, like, for some reason. That's odd.
So
that's very odd.
It's weird, but okay, whatever. You know, the one thing I did notice about this show versus Book of Boba Fett, I don't think they brought back the guy who did Mando and Boba soundtrack. I think this is John Williams, and John Williams is normally impeccable. He's amazing, the gold standard in filmmaking music. But this, I noticed about the soundtrack here, the main theme of Kenobi, it doesn't strike me as it doesn't strike out as much as Book of Boba and Mando.
John Williams is obviously like he's hit or miss. Like we kind of all know that the original Star Wars and Phantom Menace has fucking impeccable music, like those two movies. But then if you actually said like, oh, tell me about the music of Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith, you're like, I mean, it's fine, but it's definitely more forgettable than the incredible music of Phantom Menace and Star Wars.
Duel
you know,
Fates.
like yeah, like you know, like those two movies. Like Williams put it all in. But when I think of like even like Empire Strikes Back, when I think of like the music from Empire Strikes Back, it's kind of reminiscent of Star Wars, but just kind of like weaker, you know, like it's just not as memorable or powerful. So it's weird, you know, like he does this incredible work like way back in 77 and then again for Phantom Menace. And then, you know, so, I mean, obviously like then there's other stuff. I think Williams did the Superman theme, didn't he?
I don't know.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'll have to look.
Williams?
You're gonna look. I think he did Jurassic Park. John Williams. Pretty sure he did Jurassic Park. He did some of the best stuff.
Yeah, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, it's by John
Jurassic
Williams,
Park. Superman. Yeah. He did Superman. E.T. I know that.
Oh
Indiana Jones.
Man, those are some memorable stuff. Yeah, but then he it's not like he's perfect. He has some forgettable stuff. You know, I didn't remember any music from this at all. Like when you're like, oh, the music, I'm like, I don't remember a thing, which is telling. You know.
Mm-hmm. So okay, first episode once again was okay. Old man Logan Kenobi, got it. Second episode focuses more on him becoming, you know, like I said, the archetype of the new Star Wars television stuff, which is basically
so Leia's kidnapping. Does Leia's kidnapping in the first or second episode?
I believe it's the first episode.
With her and the wet bandits.
What'd you call them?
The wet bandits.
The wet bandits. Where's that from?
That's from Home Alone.
Oh yeah! That's right. That's right.
Yeah. But it's totally the wet bandits, right? Like doofus criminals that like, oh, hit my head on a tree, like, you know, kind of stuff. Like, by the way, Leia's age, isn't she all like over the map on how old she seems?
This is gonna sound very weird. I thought she said she's 10.
She said she's 10.
She looks. Maybe it's gonna sound so douchey. She's so short. I thought she was like younger than 10. Did you know?
Well, obviously so her acting ability and her speaking and everything makes me think she's 10. She has a long actually history of movies that goes back years. So I'm like, okay, but at the same time, she's
specifically.
Yeah, the actress. The actress has been acting for like 4 or 5 years. So I'm like, I couldn't find out how old she was, but 10 might be realistic. But you're right, she's so small. And when she runs, she toddles. You know? And it's not like I have nephews who are around this age, okay? And they both run track. So it's like I've seen them run. Okay, and they don't toddle. They frickin' run. My 2-year-old toddles. Okay, but when this Leia runs, like these are the worst scenes because she's toddling through the forest, and these people are running after her at full speed. And then later on the planet, she's running on top of this building, and people are running after her at full speed, and they're not catching her, even though she's like toddling. Like the way she moves her arms and her legs, kind of like. It's so weird. It's so weird. I mean, granted they got her for her acting ability and her ability to speak and things like this, but like they make her do a lot of running for someone that can't run.
She runs like Jack Sparrow.
yeah, that's it. Like feet in the air. Like people would be able to catch her in literally 2 seconds. Like it'd just be like, oh, I got you. Like kids don't run that fast. But like if you're gonna make them run fast, don't have them toddle.
I
So
will say,
weird, right?
you like when I was when we were messaging on Facebook about like the show, you're like, well, there's a kid, so prepare for that. And I was expecting like young Leia to be like annoying, but she's not. She really captures like Leia from Episode 4, where she's kind of like
Yeah, I mean, she's very sassy. Yeah,
very sassy.
Yeah. So,
but it works. It's not annoying. It works. The one character I find that I'm not really connecting with, I'll give her a couple more episodes, is Reva. A lot of those parkour scenes were a little unnecessary.
It reminded me of Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah,
where you're like Ming-Na Wen is like, let me put on my helmet. Let me as a woman, as an old woman in my late 50s, put on this helmet and then do parkour. Like. That's what it exactly reminded me of. Like, oh, more park. I guess you had him on contract. You had him on salary. We've got the parkour crew. We've got
to use them.
Gotta use them.
But like I said, I really hope this is not the entire show where Obi-Wan is just trying to get Leia back to Alderaan and keeping her safe, and the entire show is just a giant escort mission, like Mandalorian was. By the way, Alderaan, this is the first time I think we've seen it in the new canon. In the old canon, we did see bits and pieces of it, and it's kind of the same. For those of you who are familiar with the old canon and don't remember, it's the Star Wars: The Old Republic timeline trailer Hope, where the Sith attack Alderaan and the Republic troopers fight him off in the forest. Basically the same. So I'm glad we got to see Alderaan. Pretty cool. Pretty nifty. At this point, Alderaan being destroyed is kind of a meme, so nice to see it at this point. And Jimmy Smits. I like that we saw him. I like that we get to actually see Leia's mom.
No, I mean, it's when you have the Jimmy Smits scene, it's just like you're dealing with a professional, and he makes everything work. They had to include in there that he was trying to ban slavery in the Empire. I was like, okay. All right, Jimmy Smith, you should have done that under the Republic, What did you think of Kumail Nanjiani, as the fake Jedi?
I like the actor. I think he's great. I just started watching. I'm very late on this. I just started watching Eternals, and he's cool in that. I like him in that. He's one of those actors where he's not my favorite, but I'm glad he's getting work. Like I'm glad he's in there. He's getting work.
If you see, well, you need to watch Silicon Valley to see him in like what kind of made him famous. And if you watch Silicon Valley is a great watch. It's a great series all the way through.
That's on HBO, right?
Yeah, it's on HBO. Each episode is pretty short, so it's breezy and fun. But like that's the series where you kind of really see his comedy chops like used really well. Mm-hmm. And so here I liked it. I thought he was funny. Like I was expecting him not to fit as well as he did, but it was fine. It was funny to have this fake Jedi that was like scamming people, But yeah, it was all right. But yeah, you should watch Silicon Valley. He was fine in Eternals. They're trying to give him more dramatic stuff. He's trying to transition from being both comic actor into dramatic actor. So we'll see. I guess if he had a movie his own movie, which is somewhat his own life, called The Big Sick, not The Big Sleep. But yeah, you should definitely see that one.
He's not my favorite, but I like him enough to where I'm glad he's getting work. But overall, I'm glad they premiered the first 2 episodes. They really should have done that with Boba, but I'm glad they premiered the first 2 episodes. So far, Kenobi, it's okay. It's okay. It's not bad. Okay. It's already better than Book of Boba Fett, so that's good. It's okay. I want to see more episodes. I'm definitely genuinely curious as to where the show's going to go. Hopefully, we get to see some more favorites from the comics and the games. I'm excited to see Cal Kestis if he shows up, because this is right around the time where that would be going down. Cal Kestis is from the Fallen Order video game. Maybe Kira. I hope Han Solo does not show up. Fuck that. That's stupid. That would be dumb.
I would say my opinion is it's not the fastest moving show, though the second episode is a little faster than the first. But the fact that it has real actors and real acting, I'm not saying all the scenes are great, but like just the fact that there are that half the scenes are like acted well with real actors, makes it better than Mando or Book of Boba Fett. You know, like because Mando, like it's not that I don't think Pedro Pascal is a good actor, but with a helmet on, he can't act. Because it's just a helmet, you know? And so, like, there's no good actors in that show. There were no good actors in Boba Fett. Or at least, I mean, it's not like Ming-Na Wen is a good actor, but, like, you know, they didn't give her anything. So, right? So they didn't give her anybody to work off of. And so Book of Boba Fett, horrible acting. Mandalorian, horrible acting. Here you actually have actors acting, you know? Not every scene is great. I think I don't necessarily think the actress playing third sister is that great, but like just the fact that you have like these old veterans like Ian McGregor and Jimmy Smits like makes things work, and it's good. It's good.
It's passable, decent. I recommend it.
It's got a little kid. The little kid's sometimes annoying, but not horribly annoying. But you know, I think there's a weird scene at the end of that second episode where suddenly she doesn't trust Obi-Wan, and I'm like, this is odd. That was out of nowhere, and all you know. But it was okay. It was okay. But I don't know who this is for. Is it a kids show? Is it an adult show?
Both. They're trying to find that. They're trying to strike that balance.
Did you like seeing Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers? He actually acted in movies before he was in the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Just as a note, like you know, we do kind of know him just for being Flea, but he actually was in some movies before he was in the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
But no, overall, not bad. Can't wait to see the next one. By the way, just so you know, Star Wars Celebration is currently ongoing, and the next Star Wars show is going to premiere shortly right after the end of Kenobi. It's going to premiere, I think, around the time House of the Dragon comes out, the Andor show.
Oh, right.
So I posted this on my Twitter. I think did you see the post I put on Twitter?
I'm looking at it now.
I forgot. I knew I was forgetting a couple of shows. The Boys. The Boys, I think, is coming next month. So add The Boys to this, but keep this in mind. The Boys. So summer to fall is going to be The Boys, House of the Dragon, Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Star Wars, Andor, and She-Hulk.
Well, also Westworld.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about Westworld. Shit.
Westworld's in June, yeah.
Okay, so Westworld, The Boys, House of the Dragon, Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Andor, and She-Hulk. So that's 6.
Yeah, we got a lot of things to cover.
Kind of 7 for me because I'm currently watching Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, which is fucking awesome. You should give that a shot. Picard season 2 was trash. Strange New Worlds is what everyone's been waiting for. I want to see Red Letter Media's opinion on it.
Red Letter, I mean, because they said they were done with Star Trek, but in their last review, they mentioned that like everybody's been harassing them and telling them that Strange New Worlds is like okay, you know?
Yeah,
so
it is.
Like, oh,
it really
crap.
is. It really truly is.
They're like, oh crap, we have to watch this show. Damn it.
Also, today it came out today. I should check it out. The first part of the final season of Stranger Things.
Yeah, I never watched Stranger Things season 2 or 3, so I gotta catch up on that.
I mean, honestly, you're watching Dark. It's basically the same shit. Apparently. It's just in German. It's just the same thing. You know, the same.
It's all the same thing.
It really is. Westworld. When does Westworld come out? This is weird. I keep forgetting Westworld exists. Westworld.
I mean, it's easy at this point, but yes.
What is the new season? Let me look here real quick.
It's June 26th is Westworld's season 4 premiere.
So many shows.
This because I think everybody was like, okay, let's. I don't know what there was this delay for COVID, and then they all started filming again, and now the filming all finished at the same time, and so we're just getting this like just
Onslaught of
huge
shows.
onslaught of shows.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's
weird.
it.
So fucking weird. Anyways, but no, hey, it's an exciting time. Like, all the cool new shows are just coming out all at once. Hopefully, Preston will be able to cover them all, because goddamn. As for Kenobi, like I said, it's okay. So far, better than Boba. Excited to see more. Hopefully, we'll get to see
I would say it's better than Mando, but
I don't know. The verdict's out on that one.
I mean, at the same time, think about like where you were with like at Mando's episode 4. Like how far you were, and I mean, you're thinking, late in the season when you got that Bill Burr episode and stuff like
That's
that.
right.
But like remember Mando, those first few episodes were pretty slow. You had Pig Boy like talking talking really slowly and stuff like that. So I don't know. Gotta finish the entire series before you make the judgment. I mean, Darth Vader's showing up. Jesus.
Yeah. Towards the end of the second episode, yes, that was. Like I said, I'm worried that he's going to be in the show. Maybe like a small cameo, but we'll see. I don't want that one scene in episode 4 to be ruined, but they're probably going to whip him out.
I think they're going to whip him out. They're going to whip him out totally. They're going to use him as much as possible. They're going to. I mean, you're talking about one line versus the ability for Disney to produce more shows that people are going to watch. Like imagine if Obi-Wan does really, really well. Okay. Imagine this is like huge show and everybody watches it. Then you're like, well, I guess we're going to have to do a season 2 and a season 3 and a season 4. And then pretty soon you're like, wait, Obi-Wan wasn't actually in the desert at all. He was actually like doing shit throughout the galaxy. Yes. Like if it makes Disney money, that's what's going to happen.
That's what he was doing. By the way, real quick, I sent this to you, and shout out to friend of the channel and sexy YouTuber in a skirt, Trey the Explainer. He tweeted out something interesting about how in 9 years, by the way, this is like 9 years from A New Hope, Obi-Wan goes from looking like Ian McGregor to Alec McGuinness. Like, that's a huge gap in age. What I thought was going to happen, this may still happen, something may happen to Leia, and maybe she dies for like a second, and then Obi-Wan uses some of his life to inject it into her, and then as a result of him using so much power, he ages to the point where he's Alec Guinness. But according to Trey from the old Darth Plagueis book, it's no longer canon, apparently living on the planet Tatooine literally just ages you up like rapidly.
Yeah, these are like, fanboy author retcons to try to like make things fit. And it's like just make it so it like it just doesn't fit. Like it's okay that it doesn't fit. The actors are different ages. Like just let it go. Like it doesn't. I understand. Like they have these explanations, and it's just like no, it was just a goof. Like come on. I love these things. Like well, in the extended universe, they said this and this. That's because some other author was like, yeah, this doesn't make sense. I'm going to force something in to try to make it make sense because they fucked up. Like it's almost a full recognition of it. The fact that like somebody had to sit there and like write that in a book, but well, like no, they planned this the whole time. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Okay.
Preston, do you mind if we wrap it up?
Sounds good.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time for episode 3. Next week on Wednesday, I think is when it premieres. Have a good one.